people, it is spring in Alaska, definitely. I mean, look at that gorgeous mountain behind me, just amazing. What we're going to talk about today is this bit of kit right here. We're going to talk about how this can really help your wildlife photography, especially a midday sun or a little bit of glare. So let's talk about it. Okay, we're going to run here real quick and just have some fun today. And we're going to use that bit of kit I was talking about that'll help your wildlife photography. And it's an item that landscape photographers use all the time. It's called a Circular Polarizing filter. I'm going to call that CPL from now on because that's a mouthful of stuff to say there. And what is a CPL? Well, the CPL just does, it reflects the light that bounces off things. It reduces that glare. It's just like the pair of sunglasses you put on that have polarizing filters in it. It reduces the glare so you can see into the water when you fish or do things like that. And landscape photographers have been using this for a long time to reduce that glare off water and rocks and things like that. And we can employ that same tactic for wildlife photography. And we'll talk about why in the past we haven't wow, those terns were loud behind me. I don't know if you guys could hear them, but they were loud. But that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go out and show you what a CPL does in the wild. A lot of things when you see about CPLs or variable ND filters, neutral density filters as they're called, is they'll show you kind of glance real quick like, oh, that's what it looks like against the sky and kind of show you, but they don't take you out in the field a lot of times and use it in real time. That's what I try to do on this channel, is just go out and use things and show you how they work out in the field, at least how I experience them. And that doesn't mean that's going to be good for your mileage on a lot of things I review, like the ground pod skimmer, which I'll use today. Some people like them, some people don't. I'm in between. Some days I want to use it, other days it's going to stay in the truck. But let's go out in the field. Let's show you what a CPL does, how to use it, and all those fun things, and kind of why we haven't used it a lot as well photographers, and why maybe we should use it a bit more. Because I did have a use case yesterday that fell right into that, and we'll show you the footage from that later. So let's go out here and find some birds to shoot. And I'm probably going to be quiet for a bit until we can get on these guys. I've got out here, I've got some dowitchers, seagulls, of course, Arctic terns you just heard. We've got some green-winged teals out here too, and I think maybe a few other birds, but let's go see what we can get. I know we've got some pectoral sandpipers that keep spooking out of the grass, but let's get out here, get laid down, get this all set up. We'll talk about it and see if we can get on some birds to shoot. Let's go do it. Wow, I don't believe it. First try and I got that leveled. That's nice. Let's start off real quick and show you about the CPL, what it is and how to use it. Now, one of the reasons why wildlife photographers don't use a lot of CPLs and NDs as much as we should is due to the front elements on a lot of our cameras. So, hope I don't lose my hat here. And on the 1-800-600 by Nikon, the 2-800 by Canon, the 2-600, and I believe the 4-800, all use 95mm threads on the front, which is good because a lot of companies have 95mm threads. And K&F Concepts sent me this circular polarizing filter for this camera, and I use a lot of K&F Concept gear. I have a magic arm that I use, and what it is, it's just a arm that you can swivel two-piece, and it actually has a clamp, so I can clamp it on like my tripods and things like that. And I can put it off there where I can use like action cameras, stuff like that. I could even use a hot shoe mount with that magic arm and put it on here to film out the front of the camera, things like that. And also another thing I use about K&F Concept exclusively pretty much is I use their lens cloths, their cleaning cloths. I have a whole bunch. You can buy like 20 and 30 packs of them really cheap, and they're really good quality. and I use them all the time. I actually have one in my pocket right now, actually. But circular polarizing filter, pretty simple. This is a screw-in filter, just like any other filter you use. You just screw it in here, get her started, get her in there. Don't get extremely snug, it'll be hard to get off. Once you get that, then you can rotate it. So with the CPL filter, the way they work is as you twist it around here in the front, it swivels around, you'll go from the base of the polarizing to a stronger. As it gets stronger, then it'll rotate back around to the softest, the weakest polarizing it has, and then longer. The one thing you really want to make sure on your CPLs is that they're true color. So a lot of CPLs and ND filters that we had, the cheaper ones you get a lot of times, and a lot of, in the past, almost all filters had what we call a color cast to them. So as you put it on, you got a little color fringing on it sometimes, and as you rotated them around, you would get more color fringing. But these K&F Concepts stuff, I've used their filters before on my smaller lenses, my landscape lenses, things like that. I have several of them, and the thing I like about them is they don't have any color cast. That's what's really good about these. They're really quality, high quality filters. I really like them. So again, we don't use them a lot because they're large and they're in the way. A lot of times maybe it reduces it, and the other problem is you have to put your lens cap on and off. So how do I twist this on a Nikon that doesn't have the little window like Canon does on the 1-500, which is really nice? That's what that window is for, so you could actually rotate one of these. It's really nice. Well, what I do is I set it to the max polarizing effect, because if I'm using it, I want that polarizing effect on this. I don't have it on there for the weak to get to the strong. I want it on there for the strongest polarizing effect to reduce that glare. So I set it to the strongest, which I'm going to do right now. Now what we can do is we can rotate the end of this until we find, so it looks like it's going to less polarizing effect. Getting stronger, back off. There, that's the strongest. So now we can lock it in there. We can say it's locked in. So now I can put my lens hood on, lock it in there, and now I'm locked. Now I won't touch that. Now I'm at the max polarizing effect of that filter. So why do we use it? Let's talk about that real fast. Well, with this bird out here, let's look at it again. Let's bring it down. So the one thing without the filter is it would really blow out. It would be really blown out. What you can do is you can kill those highlights a lot. It's still really hot on that body, like losing all the feather detail because of the blowout. And there it's looking a lot better. What we can do, we can zoom in here. See what we got. I don't know if you guys know you can do that with your cameras. You can hit the zoom button while you're in your EVF, and you can zoom in here and you can start playing with that exposure more. So a lot of times when I talk about I'm playing with colors and light, this is what I'm doing. So see here, I'm blown out. Bring it back, and I'm looking good now. And there's a lot more detail. A little underexposed. So now we can just back out of this. Look at our histogram, we're left. And that's what we got to do right now. I'm in the midday sun, and it's straight above me right now, which is the worst time to shoot. But I got just enough cloud to not make such harsh shadows, but I still have that harsh bounce. And that's what a CPL can do. It can reduce that glare and help you with the highlights, which is really nice. Okay, let me show you the difference with the CPL on at max and the CPL off. So there's my seagull right there. Just take a picture real quick with him. All right, now we're going to take the CPL off. Didn't bring the case. I'm going to lay this very gently in my hat. Try to touch the front. So now let's see what this looks like without the CPL, the exact same settings, everything, and see what the glare looks like. All right, there's my bird. See the glare on the water, the difference in it? Take a picture real quick. Zoom in. Notice how much hotter it is? So we can bring our exposure back. Looks like 2 clicks right there, gets it close. But you notice the water looks harsher, a little harsher on the top and the right of this bird versus the other one. So let's shoot this. There we go. So that's the difference in the two, the difference in that. So let's bring the exposure back up. And that's the exposure it was when I didn't have this on there. So let's put it back on, go back to shooting a little bit, but that's the difference in those two. I'll have some more examples here too of, like, I have an example that I was just shooting a log just this morning, and you can see with the filter on and with the filter off. So what you also get is you get rich colors also. So your colors kind of richen up a little bit too due to using this, because it knocks off, just like your sunglasses do. Even like your normal glasses a lot of times have polarizing on them, which really helps that glare at night, during the daytime, things like that. But that's what it does. Okay, this isn't really working out right here with those dowitchers I was hoping would come my way. They're still going the other way. So we're gonna shift and we're gonna go to these Arctic terns. Think about these terns are midday. They are hard to shoot because they are just white. And with this sun, it's gonna be really hard to get that exposure. This polarizing filter is really gonna help, the circular polarizing filter. It's really gonna help. But we're gonna go shoot these maybe on some sticks, get them in flight, see what we can get. I've seen them out here feeding on, looks like needlefish and stuff. They keep bringing back, which is really cool. We'll go try that for a bit and then we'll go somewhere else. I know where some eagles are at and some other birds. So we'll go shoot those after we play with these terns for a bit. So I will see you over there by the terns in a minute. These terns are so much fun to shoot. They're just comical. And where I'm at, they're just hanging up in the wind a lot. So it's really nice to get them stuck up in that wind. They just hover and they turn nice. And they've, several of these things I can see in their beaks, they've got some needlefish. This is really cool. So one of the things using the CPL on this guy is I've noticed in video when I've got them in the air, so this is taking the glare off the bird, it's actually locking in quicker on the autofocus in video for sure. In stills, it's about the same. So what they'll do is they'll come up with those fish and they'll stop above the nest, they'll hover and flap and they'll drop down. And there they go, and then all of a sudden, just like that, they all take off. Arctic terns are so much fun, but with the CPL, to me, it really helps shooting birds like this, a white bird. They do have an orange beak and little orange little feet and stuff, a little black head, but they blow out so easy. And when they're against this white sky, it just makes it so much easier to shoot them with this polarizer. Makes it so much easier, especially in video. Like I said, it just locks on. These guys are so fun. Such a blast. I don't know if you guys have terns in your area, but if you can find Arctic terns, they're just comical because when they're nesting, especially when another one flies over them, they'll just bark and chatter at each other. Just so much fun. They're just comical. But also, if you get close to their nest, they're going to come get you real quick. Yeah, I love Arctic terns if you've never seen them. If you can find some place where there's any type of tern species, you will have a blast with them. But But yeah, CPL looks really good with that. Like I said, it really reduces that glare and everything. I think I'm done with these guys for now. They're a blast to shoot. I can stay here all day, but I'm gonna go back to another area where I know I should have eagles and some other ducks and stuff that have a lot of white on, a lot of sheen. Let's head back there so we can get and show you a few more examples of using this CPL. Really cool. So talk to you just a bit. I love this spot back here. You'll probably find a video if you go back to last year, me, Heidi, and Cassie out here. We had the kingfishers and all this stuff. The water's a lot lower, but I've got an eagle up on a tree over here that looks really cool. And I don't know what he's been doing, but he's completely wet. So he must have gone tumbling the surf, and it's not raining that hard. I don't know if you can hear on camera, but the eagles are going nuts out here. There's been several out here. But he is just sunning himself up there, trying to get dry. So when they try to dry, they'll do their wings, they'll kick them out real wide. Really cool. And with this CPL, this is another reason I like it, is because the eagle's head's so white and his feathers so dark. A lot of times you do your exposure, you're dropping that exposure way down to get that eagle head not to blow out. By using the CPL, you don't have to go as deep down into it, and the colors look really cool too. So that's why I like it. Really, really cool. And then there's these owl boxes over here. That is cool. So I don't shoot a lot of landscapes, but that's a cool scene. But yeah, this CPL makes it so easy to shoot. It's a lot easier. I may start keeping this out, leaving this on the CPL on this guy just for shooting eagles. Leave this rig just for eagles. Makes it so nice to shoot these eagles. So yeah, CPLs. I think it's something that I need to start using in my repertoire more for wildlife. I've used them at times, but not a lot. Like I use them for landscapes. I know Heidi does, other friends that shoot landscapes a lot in portraiture, but we just don't tend to use them as much for wildlife. And mainly it's because the way we have to use them with the big filter threads. But for eagles, I think I'm gonna use it more often. And a big thank you to K&F Concepts sending me this filter that I've been using. It's really cool, I love it. It's one I've been meaning to buy my own, but they said, hey, you wanna look at them? I said, sure, send them over, we'll look at it. Definitely can check it out. And what I've noticed, looking at the images so far, the ones I've shot before and yesterday, the color on them, that's the thing too, is getting good true color on these CPLs. So it looks really good. So guys, they're really cool. Try to use them, go out and experiment with yourself. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we're just gonna go have fun, and I have had fun today. And this eagle's still up here, he's just cracking me up, just sunning himself out there. And just a cool day, a lot of fun experimenting and playing with the CPL. But yeah, the results using a CPL really speak for itself. And I'm probably gonna leave this on this lens for quite a while because I shoot a lot of eagles this time of year and I get a lot of animals, a lot of glare. So I think it'll stay on there. So yeah, go out just like I did today, have fun, go play, experiment, play with something new, practice, practice, practice. And as always, guys, until next time I see you, get outside and go run that shutter.
Like you're riding in my car with your banjo on your knee. I like you singing my songs back to me, trying to stay between the lines that you read on my palms. I'm a man on fire. I'm a man on fire. I'm trying to stay